Welcome to section 13, and in this section we're going to take a look at client-side login and registration. Of course, we've looked at the API side of things, and next up we're going to take a look at the client side of things so that our users can log in to our application. And the learning goals for this section is we're going to take a further look at Axios interceptors. We've taken a look at what we can do with a request on the way back, but what we're going to do is take a look at the request on the way out. And we've already seen how we pass up the JWT to the API. We send it in a authorization header and add the bearer token to that. So it would be handy if we can do this automatically for our requests when we have a token, and we'll use Axios interceptors to help us with that. We're also going to take a look at MobX reactions in this section because we want to be able to react to something. Now, what we're going to react to in this section is whether or not we have a token inside our client's browser. If we do, then we're going to use a reaction to automatically, effectively log us into the application. And using MobX reactions is a good example of their use case for that scenario. Also, we'll take a look at form submission errors. We haven't really looked at what happens when we get some problems coming back from our API when we're using forms. We've really just stopped that on the client side for our creation of activities. And in order so that our login and registration looks okay, we'll make use of modals so that we can dim the background of the screen and just present them with a form they can use to log in or register. So let's take a look at the before and after for this section. And the before case in this example is a bit of a disaster. We've actually broken our application because we've added authentication to our activities. But after this section, what we'll have is the ability to log in and register users. And if I click on login, and we can take one of our users with a correct password and hit the login button, and we get taken to our activities, and we're retrieving our activities as authenticated users. And we've got a drop down that enables us to log out, but we're persisting our login as well. So if the user was to refresh the page, then we would go out and get our current user object and re-authenticate to our API and get the activities back. So we're going to configure our client-side login and register, and that's all coming up next.